Good afternoon, plant friends. My name is M. Welcome back to Lethal. So today I am heading out on a little plant related adventure. Let's see what we can find. Follow me with some nice scenery surrounding the location I am about to arrive at. But yeah, hope you enjoy the video. If you haven't already, as usual, it really helps the channel, which has significantly grown quite quickly. If I'm bearing in mind that I did start this channel in December 2024 with a view to just share my journey and any tips, inspiration, and any ideas I get. Enjoy, get a coffee. I've got a nice one here. It's now just coming up to 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Monday, the 17th of February, 2025. Good afternoon on this cold winter British day. I'm in Sussex. Some of you may have already gathered that I am at a garden centre today, and I've been invited by the guys at the Southdown Nurseries, which is under the umbrella of the Tates garden centre. An amazing place that I've come to today. I will be showing you guys around briefly. There are some other attractions at this garden centre. A heritage garden, a art gallery I believe, and there's also a farm shop. It's a really cool place, and I think there's something for everybody. So if you're around this neck of the woods, or you're thinking of travelling over to Sussex, then if you're in the Brighton area, this place is only 20 minutes away from the Brighton beach. Let's get into it without further ado, and I hope you guys enjoy the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I'm sure if you've got the notifications on, you'll be informed accordingly. Thank you very much guys for watching. Let's go. So I'm just at the front of the garden centre, and there's this lovely market outside, directly outside the centre with lots of fresh produce. I think it might be a lot of local produce. Is a lot of this local? Some of it, yeah. Yeah, some of it's local. Got a nice array of some citrus fruits, nice cherry tomatoes, one of my favourites. I always have these indoors. I probably go for about 4 punnets of those a week. I actually made a cherry tomato soup last night about 3 a.m. while I was sorting out my filming schedule for today. It was good to spend with the local family businesses. Right, so so good afternoon, people. As you've probably gathered, I am at Southdown Nurseries in Hassocks, which is an absolutely stunning garden centre, I must say. And I'm just going to start with these spectacular BOPs, which I call bops, also known as bird of paradise, Latin name Strelitzia nicolai. Look at the size of these gorgeous beauties, man. I mean, you do not really find these at this size in this health. And the price mark on these is beyond comprehension, if you ask me. So this size here, and now you can see this. This is towering over 8 feet. This has got to be at least 10 foot tall. 89.99, man. That is a bargain. Okay, Southdown Nurseries in Hassocks. There's another two here. Obviously, this one is slightly shorter, coming in at around. Actually, it's probably just slightly shorter. So around 9 foot, 7 to 9 feet. But my God, apparently these were imported from Italy, and look at the slits, which is to help them protect from the strong winds in the wild. A lot of people worry about these. If you look on my short, I did mention that these are to protect them in their habitat, and I think some also say it's to help water pass through to the lower leaves as well. But yeah, if you're looking for a bird of paradise and you're in Sussex or you're coming to Sussex, this is the place to come. Now with these, they do like a chunky mix, well draining. They do not like to sit in water. So depending on where you are, because obviously if you're in a hotter zone, you will find the plant drying out quicker. But generally you want to water these when they're almost completely dry. And obviously being a tropical plant, I would try and avoid any water with chlorine, lime scale, aka tap water. So filtered RO water, aka reverse osmosis, if you can afford it, or if you have got access to it, a local spring where you can harvest the rainwater. But yeah, these are absolutely amazing. What a way to start the video, guys, with these beautiful specimens. Breathtaking. I actually missed this section here with some air plants. I think I can see some Tillandsia here, the likes of. These are really cool. I'm actually considering incorporating some air plants into the higher levels of my room. And it's funny that there's a branch here because I do have a silver birch branch screwed to a wooden beam in my bedroom where I did want to have some hanging plants exactly like this. I think this is really creative, guys. But I wouldn't advise chopping the branches off the trees. I actually found my piece of birch lying on a pathway within the countryside on a walk whilst going to harvest spring water. But yeah, let's move on here. We've got some lovely Ficus elastica, also known as the rubber tree or rubber plant. These are in I think these are about a 18 centimeter pot, going for 69.99, which is a brilliant price. for a big ficus of this size, and these look really healthy. I must say the plants in here do actually look in a very good condition. Um, the layout in here is just, yeah, it's absolute sterling. Um, very carefully thought out, very well merchandised. It's so clean as well. It's probably the cleanest garden centre I've visited so far. But as we crack on here, just before me, we have a Dracaena. I think this one is Marginata, if I'm right, or one of those types, but we do know it's a dragon tree. We also have a lovely Epipremnum here. But this is on a moss pole for £100, which is not bad. Some lovely big leaves at the top here. And these are popular amongst collectors of all levels. I do advise these for beginners as they are really easy to look after, very similar to a philodendron, and they are very rewarding and quite forgiving. So you can underwater them a little bit and they won't cry too much. Same with the underwatering. But as you can see here, this one's on a moss pole. I'd personally put it on a wooden plank because obviously I love wooden planks to mimic the tree trunk in the rainforest for any epiphytic plants. But yeah, no, that's a beautiful plant there on a moss pole for £70. And if we just look to the right of the epipremnum, we have some lovely little Dieffenbachias here. These look like they're in, I think, a 7 centimetre pot for £6.99. I think this variety here is the Camilla. And just next to it here, I think you've got the Dieffenbachia sparkles. Same with the philodendrons. These like to go quite dry, not too dry. Quite an easy plant to look after. But I had one recently where I think the winter got the better of it and it was quite small. So I will try one again in the future because I do really like the foliage on the Dieffenbachia genus. And when they do grow out, they're quite bushy and can add that real lovely leafy jungle. Down here, it looks like we've got some asparagus ferns of some type, a parlor palm, another type of shrub here which I haven't seen. Oh, this is the Ficus benjamina. These are going for £6.99. Same with the asparagus, £6.99 as well. And these look like, I think, 7 centimetre to 10 centimetre pots. If I come around here, you've also got some baby Ficus elastica teneki, which are quite popular. With the rubber plant, as far as I know, these do not like wet feet. You really want to let these go dry. And also, I find they do not like to be moved. So if you bring it home and it becomes comfortable in a spot in your home, leave it there. Do not move it. Apparently, they are not friendly when they are moved suddenly. But just below the baby ficuses here, we have one of my favorite genuses. And if you watch the channel regularly, you'll know I am a philodendron fanatic. We have the lovely scandens here. Now these look really healthy, and I think they're only priced at £7, £6.99. Look at that. Beautiful epiphyte there. And I think this one is the Epipremnum lemon lime or neon. And then another marble there, or panatum. We've got some chlorophytum here, also known as a spider plant, which is quite popular amongst a lot of collectors and beginners and just generic people who want to add a touch of nature to their home. You'll find these in supermarkets, as you know, pretty much anywhere. And down here, we've got some lovely begonias. I do not know what they are, but I will try and ID them and put the genuses and species in the bottom left or right or the middle somewhere. But yeah, these begonias are absolutely striking. Look at this velvety, almost cherry-like iridescent hue on this particular species or cultivar. As I say, I don't know what these are, but I will try and find out. Also on this one here, this is quite a unique looking begonia. Remember guys, we're at Southdown Nurseries in Hassocks, which is in the heart of the countryside of the beautiful Sussex. I just want to thank the guys again for inviting me down. and letting me come here to do this video. Because it's funny, originally I actually went to one of their other branches because Southdown Nurseries is part of a umbrella group called the Tates Garden Centres, which I think started in around 1982, which was funny enough the year I was born, which is ironic. And so, thank you to the team, thanks to Hazel, thank you to Finn and Alfie and all the rest of the staff that have really made me feel welcome today. And I'm sure I'll be back here in the future because it's such a lovely place. But before I digress, we have some nerve plants down here. This one, namely the Photonia, which is quite popular around enthusiasts. And I do see a lot of people adding these to terrariums, which apparently do great in that environment. Not to say that they won't do well in a hanging basket as well. Not sure where these are native to, but by the looks of it, they probably want to go quite dry before you water them again. We've got some lovely Tradescantia here, which is becoming quite popular recently in hanging baskets. But they actually trail along the floor, so they actually climb along the forest floor. So they're like floor walkers, if that's the right category to put them in. But they're quite beautiful. But the only thing is, they will revert to green if they do not get enough light. And if they get too much light, I think it's problematic as well. So you want to try and get the balance with the lighting and the watering. But such a beautiful plant. So I think that's it for this section. We've got some lovely decorative cover pots just behind this section of plants here near the Strelitzia Nicolai. And then we'll move on to the next section in a jiffy. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, people. It all helps the algorithm and gets this content out to more like-minded plant enthusiasts worldwide. Okay, so we're now moving on to this section where I can see already a lovely Schefflera. These are quite popular, also known as the umbrella tree. As far as I know, I don't think these like wet feet. I think they like to go quite dry, unlike your Calathea, that's quite moist. We've got some more epipremnums here. These are lovely, also known as the epipremnum enjoy. Lovely sort of cream splash on the foliage there. I think these mini babies are going for £2.99. Can't go wrong with that. Got the lovely Schefflera priced at £100 in a nice nursery pot. Looks about 20 centimeters. No, yeah, 20-25. Some peperomia down here alongside some purple passion, which are quite popular, also known as Gunara aurantiaca. These are going for £2.99 as well. I think they'll probably be part of a mix and match deal, ideal for terrariums as well. Got the lovely, I think it's the flamingo anthurium, isn't it? These orchids. I actually didn't know these were anthuriums till about 3-4 months ago at another garden centre, and then it wasn't until I really analysed the leaf morphology you can see that it's definitely an anthurium, especially from the underside. Can't really zoom in on that. It won't let me zoom. It won't focus. But yeah, that's 100% anthurium. And as I said, it's the year of green, and we have a beautiful duo of Monstera deliciosa. You don't see them looking always healthy like this. Normally they look a bit leggy, like I've said in other videos, but these look really nice. It's already starting to fenestrate, you see, which is a very good sign, which means either these plants came from established, healthy mother plants, or they're just really happy in the soil and the conditions that they're in and where they came from. But yeah, if you're looking for the jungle vibe, then whether you're a beginner or an advanced collector, you cannot go wrong with a Monstera deliciosa, also known as the cheese plant, native to the southern parts of America. Really easy to care for. I know a lot of you guys already have these, and some people have had these for years. You know, you would have seen this in your grandma's house or someone's grandma's house growing up. I definitely saw these in loads of different people's houses, but they are one of the most easiest plants to care for. Um, and these are £90, and I think that is a really good price for these monsteras. And I think 2025 is the year of the Deliciosa. I've said it in a video, and you watch, because I think variegation is taking a vacation. Variegation is taking a vacation at the moment, and I think the hype has kind of slowly plummeted and gone on a sort of cascading spiral downwards. But it probably will come back. But for me at the moment, I'm not really too fussed about variegated plants. I just want jungle vibes, things that I can look after, things that are not going to really absorb too much of my time and cause me the less amount of hassle and stress. Because let's face it, this hobby or whatever you look at it, or as a career or a job or a business, you've got to enjoy what you're doing with this horticultural forward slash botanical journey that we're on, or you're on, or I'm on. Otherwise, there's no point in doing it. And the way I've got my formula set out is to enjoy the journey and enjoy my plants and enjoy the time that I spend with them without affecting my actual work and personal time. So we'll move over to this section here now. We've got some more Anthurium Karma Hot Lips. This one is. I know the guys over there in the States love these, because I see a lot of these in the videos where I watch people shopping at Lowe's or browsing Lowe's, which I think is like one of the number one plant um, garden centers in the US. But yeah, we've got an Anthurium there. I think we've got the Calathea Triostar, I think that one is. No pink in it yet. Maybe they just stay white when they're juvenile. But yeah, as I was going to say with the Monstera guys before I forget, easy care, let them go bone dry. That's what I do with mine. Let it go bone dry. Feed it all year round with a micro feed measurement. And I'm telling you, the thing will thrive. And if you can, get it on a wooden plank instead of a moss pole. Moss poles are good, but the wooden plank is always going to be better. Okay? So, moving on now, we've got some cat grass here. This is really fun stuff if you've got a little kitty. Man, the plants are really healthy. I've not seen anything that looks like in a bad condition really here. Another Calathea here. I forgot what this one's called. I haven't seen this one. I will double check what that one is and try and put the genus try and put the species in the bottom. But obviously you can tell that's a Calathea from one of the painted varieties. And if you want to know why the Calatheas like this one and this one, which is the peacock Calathea, they have the painted leaves, and this is basically to help disrupt predators in the rainforest. So pests and other bugs that might try and feed off the plants and deer, and it helps to disrupt the prey, which I found out recently, which is quite cool actually. That looks like a mini hydrangea, which is good to actually make a tea from the flowers for medicinal purposes. A lot of people see these as just bushes to cover up like the grounds of nursing homes and elderly people's properties, but they're actually a medicinal flower historically. And over here we've got some more Dieffenbachia. I think this one is the Sparkles cultivar. I'm not sure if it is native, but we do know it's a Dieffenbachia, also known as the dumb cane. And I'm sure some of you who research plants and horticulture from a granular level will know why it's called the dumb cane. And it's quite a bit of a dark history to it, which I'm not going to incorporate into the video because I'm trying to keep this positive. And here is one of my wish list plants, which I love and adore. And obviously it's coming from the genus, which is one of my top favoured genuses in amongst all of the genre, which is the philodendron. And this one in particular is the philodendron melanochrysum, which means black gold. And this is one of my favourite philodendrons. And I actually thought that this was a Anthurium originally, say about a year ago when I first started getting into the hobby. But yeah, these are nice, and these are only $11.99. So I think I might be buying one of these to take home because they are on my wish list. And then we've got an Amazon Alocasia poly here, looking really healthy. These are really popular. I do know, again, with the Alocasias, they do like a moist medium. I don't get on with them, so I prefer not to really buy them myself. It could be to do with where I live because I am in the south of England, coastal. That could have something to do with why they don't like my home. I don't know. And we've got an Alocasia Sabrina here. I did see a couple more on the other side. These are quite popular if you know how to keep an Alocasia happy. And these are £18. Another philodendron which I love, which is reminiscent of the philodendron black cardinal, is the philodendron imperial. And I just love the big glossy burgundy leaves. I am a bit of a junkie for these dark leaves, and I don't know why they just remind me of that midnight sort of jungle vibes, and almost add a bit of contrast to the green if you've got a lot of green leaves in your room. And obviously, with all philodendrons, they do like to go quite dry before you water them. I almost let mine go bone dry, but some of them don't like to go completely bone dry. It's about trial and error, I say. And again, it depends where you are, your lighting conditions, how warm your room gets, and other variables, including the humidity, which in some cases isn't so significant for some genuses and species, but a lot of genuses and species are finicky when it comes to the humidity levels and um, how warm the climate is where you are. So just behind that array of plants here, we've got this lovely Dracaena, which is the Dracaena magenta carousel. And this is the green-leaved dragon tree with the burgundy sort of edged leaves. Because as you know, with the Dracaena genus, there are so many different cultivars and species. I think I've got the marginata myself personally, but they're really popular, easy to care for, don't like to really go too dry, but they don't like to stay wet. And I know that they do not like direct sunlight, so you want to keep that in a low light area. Um, yeah, so we've got a pinstripe calathea here. These are really huge. What's the price on the dragon tree? So that's Justina there, pretty huge. I can't see what size the pot is, but I'm estimating that's about 30 centimetre, 35 centimetre pot, coming in at £140, which is pretty decent priced if you ask me. Now, as I was saying with the calathea pinstripe, these, I don't really get on with calatheas, as you know. But maybe I might try again. I might try a different methodology in terms of the substrate. I am thinking to try and actually grow some calatheas in a semi-hydro setting alongside with many other plants in my collection because I am sick to death of fungus gnats. And it's nothing to do with my house or the condition. It's to do with wet soil and humidity and other factors. And I've tried everything. I've tried neem oil. I've tried the nematodes. Don't get me wrong. The amount of them has calmed down, but there are still some present, which is annoying me. So I might actually convert to a full semi-hydro setting within my collection, which is another video to come in due course. So we have some other melanochrysums here, another two zebrinas here, which are looking really nice. Um, so yeah, with the philodendrons, most of them like the bright indirect light. Same with the calathea, if anything a little bit lower than the philodendron. And yeah, I think that's it with this section here, which is another beautiful section. This is like, I think, the third section that we've covered now. And just next to that, we've got, I think this is the lipstick plant, if I remember. I'm not going to try and pronounce the Latin name of this one because it is a bit of a tongue-tying one. But yeah, these are nice when they flower. So yeah, that's that section there. I'm going to send a big shout out to Mr. Chimpy, the Southdown Nurseries mascot, the official mascot. Big up man like the chimp inside. So yeah, they've also got some really cool pot buddies here. I've seen Claire at the Jungle Haven talk about these, about making your own. And these are quite a cool addition to add to your pots. I'm not really into decorating my pots with any fancy accessories, but I know some of you want to add that extra ambiance, or whatever you want to call it, bit more character to your room, and these are ideal. But I'm going to end this part of it here, and then we're going to move on to the next section. I hope you guys are enjoying the video, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And just to remind you, we are at the absolutely spectacular Southdown Nursery in Hassocks, with so much to do here. And bearing in mind, I've only just come to visit the houseplant section, but I was walking around earlier, and you'll see in other shots in the video, so much to do here, so much to buy. Something for everybody. There's a huge outdoor plant section as well, lots of indoor decorative pieces, and yeah, so a few electrical bits and bobs as well. So yeah, really cool place to come and visit if you're in the Sussex area, or if you are visiting the UK and you're nearby Brighton Beach, because it's a 20-minute drive from the central side of Brighton, which is pretty much a stone's throw. So yeah, we'll be back in a jiffy. I'm gonna have a bit more of my coffee, and then we will continue with the walkthrough. Okay guys, I'm back. I just had a quick break, nice sip on a coffee, and straight away before me we have some lovely peperomia, which is a favourite amongst many. Personally, I do not have much experience with peperomia. I did have the baby rubber tree, which I believe is from the peperomia genus, and it seems to be just dropping leaves. I don't know if it's wintering, but if anyone knows any peperomia sort of basic care, drop it in comments. But I'm probably going to look at some care tips myself, because I do like the peperomia genus. We've got some lovely Hoya here. This is obviously the Hoya carnosa tricolour, which is a staple Hoya, I believe, in the industry. I see this in countless collections. There's an interesting peperomia here. This has almost got some minty vibes. What's that one? That's unusual, isn't it? Does anyone know what this one is? I've not seen that before. Really interesting. Some sort of patination going on. We've got some bromeliads here. If you're an orchid person, I'm not really an orchid guy. Oh, look at this. Clemente golden mosaic. That is really unusual, isn't it? Look at that little stunner. Very interesting variegation. See, when it comes to variegation, I don't mind it when it's like this, quite subtle. There's a little bit of a you can see there's some sort of coding going on within the variegation. It looks like it's almost meant to be. It's when the variegation becomes really, really outlandish and a little bit out there, it tends to steer me away. And I find, from what I've seen with other people's accounts, the more variegated they are, the more likely you're going to run into some sort of issue, or just end up having to hold the plant's hand for the whole duration of its life with you, which is not really what you want. You want to be able to just let your plants get on with it and then just do the maintenance and have it as straightforward as possible. But here's another winner amongst the calatheas, which is one of the few calatheas that I have. If you saw my other video at the previous garden centre I visited, I did mention and shouted out the Calathea insignis, also known as the rattlesnake plant, which I absolutely love. And it's to do with this patternation, which almost looks like a vining plant printed on the leaf. And again, the reason why they have these patterns on these calatheas is to disrupt the predators in the rainforest, like the deer and other pests that might try and feed on the leaves. So as we go behind the Calathea insignis, we have here, I think this is, which one is this one? I'm gonna have to look this one up. That's another one, but obviously we know that's a Calathea. Really nice elongated leaves on this one. And again, if you know calatheas, they seem to love moisture. So getting the watering balance right with that genus is quite tricky at the best of times. But lovely plants to own if you can get them to thrive. Just like this one here, I think this is, I'm sure this is either the Macayana, perhaps. I will double check. And there is another one hiding here, which is similar to the peacock variety. I'll double check which that one is. And then just behind there, you have, what is that? I've not seen this before. So this is called a Brigamia Hawaiian palm. That is, I like that. That is different. Check this out, guys. The Brigamia Hawaiian palm. This is $14.99. And do you know what? This reminds me of the Ficus lyrata, but elongated, but not as sort of puffy looking and padded. Because the Ficus lyrata has that sort of cushioned oven glove look, as I like to describe it as. But I really like that. If anybody has this, I'd love to see what this looks like as it matures, because I reckon that will look quite cool. It's got real tropical vibes. Oh, is that a Mycans there? Oh no, it's an Amphiurium, it looks like. Oh, that's the Homolemina lemon lime. I think we saw one of those over there. Hold on a minute. Did I miss? Would you believe it, guys? I'm going to come back to this table, but just before I forget, I think I missed the dubias or dubia. I never know the right pronunciation, but check out this little collection of monsteras here. Now, this is a prime example of an epiphytic genus. Now, any plant that produces aerial roots will look for a medium like this to attach to. Because with this, the Monstera dubia, I hear different pronunciations, but you know what I'm talking about. They need to be on the plank. And we've also got some Maranta here. These look really, really healthy. And those dubias are $34.99. So yeah, anything that has aerial roots, just like a dubia, wants to grow up something solid. And you can see this, it's not wooden, but it's very close to a tree trunk. And you can see the aerial roots and the leaves themselves are attaching nicely. So we've got the Medinilla here. This is an unusual genus that you do not really see at all. Now I'm sure this is native to Borneo, which is the Asian jungle. But look at that for foliage, yeah? If you're looking for jungle vibes, look no further. I mean, wow. Isn't that a beautiful plant? I'm just gonna have to put this down to get a good angle of this one. So this is the Medinilla magnifica, and this is priced at $22.99. And I would class this as rare because I've never seen this in a garden centre before. But look at that, guys. What a spectacular plant. Like the veination is just so prominent and deep. I don't know what the flowers would look like because they all look like they're about to burst. But that is a gorgeous plant. If you're looking for jungle vibes, man, you have to add this to your collection. You don't see many like this. I'm not sure what the maximum height of this is and spread, but I will do a bit of digging, maybe put some brief notes on it. But yeah, that's a lovely plant. Yeah, I can't believe I was going to walk past this table because this is probably one of my favourite stations so far. And just look from afar, that's just a beautiful display. The whole place is actually, man. Like, I'm just going to take a step back so you guys can actually take this in. Like, so this is the entrance here to the Southdown Nurseries in Hassocks, and my God, look at this place. It's absolutely breathtaking. If you're a plant enthusiast, you're definitely at home here. The staff are really warm and welcoming. The vibe is really calm. It's got a lovely cafe as well, so if you want refreshments. And yeah, it's situated in the heart of the beautiful Sussex countryside, so you can't ask for more. Southdown Nurseries, Hassocks. So this is the Calathea ornata that I was labelling as the common name Calathea pinstripe, I believe. Might be wrong, but any mistakes I make, come on, bear with me, guys. With the amount of genre that exists within this landscape of horticulture and botany, you're gonna make mistakes from time to time, and I will try and correct myself accordingly as much as possible. So moving over to this table with the parrots, we was up to the rattlesnake, also known as the Calathea insignis. Then we moved on to the Homolamina, and then we saw the, oh, now we're seeing the Hoya Way tricolor. I don't know what the way is. I'm sure that's for shortened for something. But just next to that, I think these look like some sort of holly, but it's not. I thought it was Christmas holly for a minute, but they're called Ardisia Premium Red. I don't know if anybody knows about those. I imagine those berries are for a reason, maybe feeding birds in the forest, who knows. And I imagine those birds that eat those berries, that did probably help with the reproduction of that plant in the ecosystem. So we've got some philodendrons here. I'm sure these are, they're not imperials, because there was some imperials on the other side. It's Congo or something along those lines, but I'm going to double check those as well. We do know there's a philodendron from that typical structure that a philodendron has on the petiole makeup. And philodendrons, you'll always notice when they do produce the new shoots, 9 times out of 10 I normally see a sheath around the emerging petiole. This is an Areca catechu palm. This is really interesting. So if you know me and my channel, you'll know that I am a keen collector of palms. So for me, I think this palm has to go on the wish list. I don't know much about it, but I just love the look of it straight away. It reminds me of a Kentia, which hails from the Lord Howe Island, just off, I think, the Australian coast. So I imagine Areca. I'm gonna look this one up. It's obviously gonna be maybe related to the butterfly, unless it is the butterfly palm and they're calling it something else. But that's called the Areca catechu. We've also got the money trees here, the Pachira aquatica at $14.99. These are quite popular. I'm not sure what the care is for these, but I'm sure you can find out accordingly. We've also got here a Ficus Benjamin, larger than the other size we saw just around the other side, and some more Dracaena, aka Dragon Tree, for $89.99. So I just saw here some staghorn fern, I think, also known as Platycerium. These are quite popular for hanging off walls, above doors, to sort of line up on the side of TV stands and so forth. as far as I'm aware, I know ferns are very thirsty, so it can be tricky to get the watering right with them sometimes. We've got the Nephrolepis green lady here, which is another type of fern. These look in really good condition here. And then here we've got some more epipremnum. And this one here, which is the Cissus Ellen Danica, which looks like some sort of trailing forward slash vining genus. Right, just coming up to the last section now. And guys, I'm just blown away by the selection here. It's so diverse. There's something for everybody. You've got common, rare, exotic, forest, mountainous, you name it, it's here. And there's so much more to discover beyond the houseplant section. Southdown Nurseries in Hassocks, and I just want to thank the guys again for letting me come down today. It's been an absolute pleasure. So just finishing off here, we've got some more Dieffenbachia, and this one is called, I think, the Green Magic, which I haven't seen before. We obviously know about the sparkles, which is quite common. We've got the Calathea medallion here, which you'll find quite widespread, but still popular, alongside the Polly, which we've seen already earlier. And over here, we've got the Phlebodium Blue Star, which is another type of fern, I believe. And I think we did see this at the other garden centre that I was at a few weeks back. Somebody had commented how much they adored that genus and species of fern. And as you know, ferns are thirsty, so if you are thinking of getting a ferns, do research their care and try and mimic the habitat as much as possible, in accordance obviously with where you're living. And we've got some more birds of paradise. Now there was one last section just to the left of that station which I did miss out filming due to the fact that I did run out of storage space, which was a little bit annoying. However, I do know why I did run out of the space, and next time I will be able to avoid that happening. But nevertheless, it was still a fantastic day, which I really enjoyed thoroughly. And I want to say thank you to the guys again at Southdown Nurseries, and feel free to visit their website www.tatesofsussex.co.uk for any information regarding any of their products and services or attractions on site. They do have free parking, quite a large area, also disabled access and refreshments catering for all dietary requirements, including plant-based people. So yeah, very versatile, flexible, very accessible, nice location, really warm, friendly staff, and I couldn't have asked for a better day. And I hope you guys at home or wherever you're watching this have enjoyed it. I want to big up my United States and Canada audience, who I know are here quite a lot, and of course my UK neighbours. And look out for the next video, as I will be visiting another location tomorrow, and I'm just planning that now as I finish the editing for this one.